We have the new moon at 26 degrees of Gemini happening on June 17th at 9:36 p.m. Pacific, which is 12:36 a.m. Eastern. Check your local time to see when this lunar event's occurring for you. And now we are at the final new moon of the 2023 spring season. Soon we'll begin our summer sessions of these lunar events, with the first one being July 3rd, and it will be a full moon in Capricorn. And even though this is a new moon in Gemini, it's got a bit of kick to it. Generally, Gemini energy is very upbeat and easy breezy, but this moon has some alignments that are occurring during the time that could be a bit edgy. However, we do have some mitigating factors that can soften the rough edges of this lunar event. And with the vibes going on over the next few days, we can see where some of this may end up helping us in terms of going after what we want. New moons are about new beginnings and fresh starts, and luckily during this event, we do have some good luck energy, and we also have some ambitious energy. So even if there are some obstacles going on in the background that's slowing our pace, needed to push past negative circumstances and also have a sense of good luck being on our side. Psychic energy will be the highest energy on the graph, going on from the 17th all the way up until the 19th. This could be a new moon where we're getting some intuitive hits. We might have hunches about a few things and instinctively feel a few things. In other words, we might have an inkling about something and act on that and get some really good results as a result of it. So it's a lunar event where listening to our intuition will actually be helpful for us. On the 18th, there's a little bit of solitude occurring and a little bit of emotional sensitivity happening on the 19th. Again, there's some edgy stuff going on during this lunar event, so there could be moments where we need some space to ourselves. There could be moments where we're feeling more triggered than normal and just sensitive to what people are saying to us, and so we need to be aware of that and try to ground our energies the best way we can. That way we can focus on the new things that we want to bring into our life. And speaking of which, we're at a new moon. New moons are about new beginnings. It is about starting something fresh in the cycle with the sign associated with this lunar event and incorporating the positive traits of the zodiac sign. So that way, when we get to the full moon in that exact sign, we can launch the things that are working, tweak the things that still need a little bit of refinement before we put it out to the world, and let go of the things that are no longer serving us under that sign's influence. So think about what you'd like to create in Gemini energy over this next 6 months. Hope to pen a new chapter in your life, so by the time we get to that full moon in Gemini on November 27th, 2023, you're able to be fully immersed in that new story. One of the many positive traits of Gemini is the art of being flexible. So is this a time where you're ready to let go of rigidity in favor of being more open-minded, in favor of adding variety to your life, in favor of being open to new ideas and the way you engage with life? One of the cool things with Gemini is, in order to create a fascinating existence, we have to constantly generate buzz around our lives. In other words, it's about seeking new activities. It's about seeking ways to achieve mental boost. So under this influence, we find ways to stimulate our life and to stimulate our mind. So that way we're not living a fixed lifestyle that doesn't allow us to grow and experience new things. And the cool thing about this is it opens up new neural pathways and prevents our minds from regressing. Being this way also allows for us to diversify our options and not put all of our eggs in one basket. In life, it's important to have multiple sources of things, so that way we're not limited and see that our reserves are tapped out when that one supply is done. So this could be a period of creating multiple sources of something for yourself. For some people, that's multiple sources of income. For some people, that's multiple sources when it comes down to their social circle. Or it could be multiple interests to help stimulate your mind. And speaking of which, is this a period where you're wanting to build up your mental agility? Is this a time where you're wanting to increase your intellectual abilities? Because Gemini is ruled by Mercury, which is associated with our thoughts and how we absorb data, so it is literally associated with the mind. This could be a period where you're trying to build that up. For some people, that may not seem like a fun goal, but for other people, it's a true goal. Boosting our brain power is essential, and it was kind of like the thing I was bringing up about increasing neural pathways. You want to create ways for your brain to be more dexterous. Because not only is it crucial for your mind, but it also creates these opportunities where you can have these interesting, fascinating conversations with other people on various topics that you're knowledgeable about. And maybe it's not from an academic standpoint. Maybe you're wanting to learn a new language, because under Mercury we deal with language in various different languages. So this could be a period where you're wanting to learn a new language. That way you can communicate with those who speak that native tongue. Speaking of communication, are you wanting to become more social? Are you wanting to learn better interpersonal skills? Are you wanting to increase your social circle? Because Mercury and Gemini is about our chatty side, this could be a period where you're wanting to work on that. Sometimes we're in our heads too much and we don't use our speaking abilities. And maybe that's from being an introvert. Maybe that's because you're coming out of a hard period where you just weren't into socializing and didn't have the bandwidth for others. Or you're seeing that you need more variety than the social circle that you hang out with because, again, you're seeing that having a specific group of friends may not be enough. More so due to sometimes people just aren't available all the time. And so there's no one to hang out with. Or your friends aren't into certain things that you're into, so you're wanting to find people who are into those topics that you can converse with and bounce ideas off of. So doing this allows you to explore other parts of your personality that may be dampened by not having that extra variety in your life when it comes down to your social situation. Continuing with variety, is this a period where you're wanting to work on the way you interact with your environment? It's a travel sign and it has a lot to do with our immediate environment, our local environment. So it has to do with our city and the surrounding areas. It has to do with trips by car. So is this a period where you're wanting to get curious about your environment? Are you wanting to explore your city more and some of the surrounding areas? Have you been interested in taking more road trips and enjoy more of your surroundings, or even the next city or state over? But this could really usher in a period where you're enjoying your neighborhood, you're enjoying your town, and relishing in all the cool things it has to offer. And in some cases, this may be a time where you're reconsidering your environment. Maybe your environment's not right for you. Maybe the city and town you're in is not right for you. And so this could be a period where you're researching ways to move out of that area and find a city, town, state, or wherever that suits your vibes better. Because one thing's for sure, if you're not loving the environment you're in, it's going to feel very restrictive and as if the energy is weighing you down. And even though in life sometimes we have to roll with the punches, you can only do that for so long before it becomes problematic and you're needing to consider your well-being rather than tolerating something that's not right or healthy for you. And with Gemini energy, it's an upbeat tone, it's an easygoing tone. And so with this energy, it gives us the urge to connect with our youthful side. So have you been wanting to get back to the things that were fulfilling for you? Sometimes getting in touch with our youthful side is reconnecting with the things that uplifted our spirits. We're going back to old aspirations that we had that we probably had to put on the back burner due to adulting and other things. So this could be a period of rediscovering something that you were passionate about when you were younger and finding ways to incorporate it in your life currently, or executing a goal that you had that, again, you might have put on the back burner due to just life in general. So use this Gemini time to learn the art of flexibility, connect to things that brings about soul renewal. Let's look at these transits and see what we can expect from this lunar event. As a reminder, don't forget to like and subscribe because it helps this channel grow. And if you'd like to support the work of this channel, you could do so by buying me a fresh cup of coffee. There's a link in the description box below. So yeah, as I was saying earlier, this moon has some kick to it. But the great thing is it will help us take action on what we need to take action on. So that way there are no obstacles in our way for whatever we're trying to start fresh in this lunar event. Mercury is the chart ruler because it governs Gemini, and it's connecting to a couple of alignments, with one being somewhat challenging and another being harmonious. Mercury will make a square with Saturn, and so we may experience moments of self-doubt. We could have moments of shutting down. We could have moments where we're minimizing certain things. So because we're not wanting to deal with our emotions. This could also be a time where, some past thoughts come up, and past thoughts being past disappointment that's occurred, causing us to have, again, that self-doubt and limiting belief that things may not work out the way we hope. But luckily, Mercury is making a harmonious connection to Venus, which could help us shake off some of that self-doubt and start thinking in a more harmonious fashion. This energy can help us push past some of that limited thinking, allowing us to place our focus on obtaining a better social life, a better love life, a better way of earning money, and overall learning to lean into the things that we truly enjoy that make us happy. The Sun and Moon will connect to Venus, Neptune, and Pluto in problematic transits, which could cause us to fluctuate a little bit in terms of our feelings about love situations, money situations, and situations where we feel like we have no control. So this could be a time of letting go of what no longer serves us before starting something new, so that way we aren't held back by old patterns that have been unconstructive for us. So yeah, this moon has some things about it. Luckily, that Mercury alignment may help push us through and get us back on track in terms of thinking in a more upbeat fashion. So if some of that self-doubt creeps in, know that things will work out for the better in the long run. The mutable and cardinal signs will feel this lunar event more than others. The mutable modality being Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces, between 26 to 29 degrees of these placements, and the cardinal modality, since this moon is at the last degrees of Gemini. If you're in the early parts of the cardinal modality, you're going to feel this more than others. So Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn, between 0 to 6 degrees of these placements, will also feel this lunar event more than others. Anyway, I hope you all have the best new moon in Gemini ever. Later, and see you in the next episode.